Fox 13 News at 6 starts now.
Well, the winter blast is over, but the Bluff City is still having water problems. We continue our team coverage tonight on Fox 13 News at 6. Let's begin with Fox 13 meteorologist Chelsea Chandler live in Severe Weather Center 13. Good news, Chelsea. The warm-up is on the way.
I know. It's so nice to finally be able to bring good news when it comes to the weather, because I feel like I've just been Debbie Downer for so long. So we do have above average temperatures as we head into the next few days and really the rest of the year and into next week. So we get to put away our heavy winter coats for now. But in place, we need to grab our raincoats instead, because we're going to see above average temperatures with above average rainfall as we see that coming into, again, the next couple of days. So I'm going to be tracking both of those, how that will impact you. It's not going to be a complete washout. It's not every single day either. So I'm going to let you know which days you need to have that rain gear ready, which days may be stormy, which days could be strong to severe, possibly even. I've got all that information and more coming up in your full forecast.
Thank you, Chelsea. Tonight, water service and pressure are being restored all around Memphis and Shelby County, but it's likely going to be a few more days before a precautionary boil water order is lifted for MLGW customers. Here's what you need to know tonight on Fox 13 News at 6. If you do not have water, MLGW and other groups will continue to distribute bottled water for drinking as needed. Now, water that can be used only for filling toilet tanks to help flush them is available at the Hickory Hill Community Center. You can pick it up tomorrow from 1 until 5 o'clock. Bring a container if you can. 2 warming centers will remain open tonight, but they will close tomorrow because, as Chelsea just pointed out, the temperatures are warming up. MLGW tells us conservation efforts, including having employees work from home where possible, have helped get water pressure back up across the city.
Are you ready for the AutoZone Liberty Bowl Parade down Beale?
Beale Street was packed this afternoon for the annual Liberty Bowl Parade. Tomorrow's game and all its events typically mean big money for a lot of Memphis businesses. But as those thousands of fans pour into the city, the ongoing water problems are definitely having an impact. A lot of restaurants had to use paper plates and go without bathrooms today. Fox 13's Kate Beery is live on Beale Street. Kate, you visited several restaurants that just could not stay closed another day. They couldn't afford it.
Yeah, thousands are choosing the 901 this week, whether that's to visit family, attend a Grizzlies game, or go to the Liberty Bowl. But those restaurants are hoping to cash in, and it's a challenge to meet that demand with this ongoing water crisis. One of those restaurants was Arcade on the South Main Strip. They had to close the day before Christmas when their pipes burst. They let their employees rest on the holiday, and then the restaurant had to close again yesterday because of the boil water advisory. They're making do with paper plates and canned soda, but they have likely lost thousands of dollars in revenue.
It's been really hard, these big days for us being closed, but today, we had to make this happen.
There's plenty of things to eat that water doesn't affect, so we're here drinking Bloody Marys and having breakfast.
And this is a busy week for people to choose the 901. Unfortunately, January, one of the slowest months of the year, Daryl, timing could not have been worse. Back to you.
Fox 13's Kate Beery live at the FedEx Forum in Mobile. Thank you, Kate. Breaking news at 6 o'clock. The water pressure problems are hitting inmates at 201 Poplar, we found out. Shelby County Sheriff's Office telling us today that the jail has running water, but right now they're having to power flush or add water to the toilets on a couple of the upper floors because of the pressure problems. The kitchen staff is boiling water in those big 100-gallon drums like you see there for cooking and drinking water. Sheriff Floyd Bonner Jr. also ordered a water tanker truck to be on standby. Jail officials say they're in communication with MLGW and getting constant updates on that situation. Mid-South families poured out in droves today as the NAACP gave away possibly hundreds of cases of bottled water today. Cars lined Vance Avenue to get free packs. You can see bags of water being given out, people loading bottles into their trunks. Volunteers slug the water on their shoulders and pack the water into cars to help those families in need. The giveaway started at 9 this morning. It went until they were done, until they were out of bottled water. So what will happen if you don't boil the water? Can you bathe in it? Can your pets drink it? We know a lot of you have a lot of questions about this boil water advisory and the do's and don'ts. Fox 13 health reporter Mandy Rock took those questions to doctors today to get some answers for you. She's live in Memphis tonight. Mandy?
Yeah, and the water main breaks and low pressure means it makes it much easier for germs and bacteria to get into our water. Doctors say boiling the water you're planning to consume for at least a minute should kill off any harmful particles. Washing your hands with tap water and soap should be safe, but you should be careful not to swallow any water when bathing and use caution when bathing babies and young children. Consider giving them a sponge bath to reduce the chance of them swallowing water. To be safe, doctors I spoke with recommend brushing your teeth with bottled or boiled water. They say you should also give pets bottled or boiled water that has been cooled. If you think you've swallowed contaminated water and start to feel sick, you should contact your doctor.
If they were getting sick, they may notice that they have an upset stomach or feel nauseated. They may have vomiting. They may have some diarrhea, and it may be, it could be excessive, but just any kind of pattern that was out of the norm for them, would be concerning. Headaches, dizziness could also be an issue.
And even if you have a filtration system like this one, doctors say you should still boil the water to be safe. You should also not use water from any appliance connected to your water line, such as ice or water from the refrigerator. Daryl?
Fox 13's Mandy Rock live in Memphis tonight. Good advice, Mandy. Thank you. MLGW CEO told us today that conservation efforts by customers have definitely helped to get the water pressure back up. Residential customers are being asked to limit their water usage by not washing cars, washing clothes, only washing dishes when they absolutely have to, not running the water when they're doing things like brushing their teeth or shaving or even washing their hands. MLGW is also asking that you continue not to use water to defrost frozen foods. And don't hose down the driveway or the sidewalk. Just sweep it off instead. And try to take as little time as possible when you take a shower. Stay with us now. In a follow-up tonight, 2 Shelby County Health Department locations will be closed again because of low water pressure. The Cawthorn Clinic on Haynes Street and the headquarters there on Jefferson are still closed. All appointments will be rescheduled. Health Department services on Sycamore View and satellite health clinics will not be affected by this. By the way, vital record services like birth certificates will be available at the Sycamore View office from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. All locations they hope to have reopened fully by Thursday. In a follow-up tonight, the city of Memphis is telling us they went to an apartment complex near the University of Memphis today after reports of students who had no heat or hot water for quite some time. You'll remember we told you about the problems at Tiger Estates near Southern Avenue last week. Now, the city says code enforcement officers went there this morning. They inspected a pair of units at the complex, and they found heat and hot water in one, but in another, no heat. Now, they did notify the owners of the property to get that unit fixed within 48 hours, and inspectors left door tags with contact information at other units where no one answered the door. Stay with us on air and online as we continue to track the impacts from the winter blast. Download the free Fox 13 weather app on your smartphone, and you can track those warmer temperatures as they roll in. Just search Fox 13 Weather in the App Store and on Google Play. Coming up on Fox 13 News at 9 tonight and 10, our team coverage will continue. I have live updates on the ongoing water issues happening in Memphis. You can also live stream our newscast on the Fox 13 Weather app and the News app as well. The News app, by the way, available also in the App Store and on Google Play. New at 6, 2 men are waiting to be extradited from Ohio after police say they shot and killed 2 teenagers delivering for DoorDash earlier this month. Memphis police say one of the suspects is this man, 19-year-old Julius Black III. Police tell us they have first-degree murder warrants for him and 20-year-old Cameron Newsom. Police tell us the men shot and killed a 14-year-old girl and a 17-year-old boy as they and a 17-year-old friend stopped for gas at Knight Arnold and Ridgeway Road back on December 17th. Officers say the female was also in the car with the suspects, but she has not yet been identified. New at 5, Memphis police tell us a man and woman are recovering tonight after they were shot near a shopping center today. Officers say those victims were hit at Poplar and International Place just after 2 o'clock. The suspects, according to police, were in a black Infiniti sedan. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers at 528-CASH. A man is in the hospital tonight after police say he was shot near North Memphis. This happened about 9:15 last night at Hubert and University. The MPD tells us that the man was shot and taken to Regional 1 Hospital. Only information the police have on the suspects is that they left the scene in the victim's red Chrysler 300 and in another white car as well. Again, if you have any information, contact the MPD. And another man is fighting for his life after another shooting in North Memphis. This one happened just before 6:30 last night at a fast food restaurant on Jackson Avenue. The MPD tells us he was found shot at the KFC. He was taken to Regional 1 as well. Police say that the suspect in this shooting was driving a green Mitsubishi SUV. Just ahead at 6:15, the TSA has its very own Lost and Found, what you need to do to get your stuff back. And the federal government has its eyes on Southwest Airlines tonight. Details on their investigation into the massive cancellations right after the break. Plus, we've got an update on flights coming in and out of Memphis International as well. Stay with us. You're watching Fox 13 News at 6. Southwest Airlines struggles continue tonight because of massive cancellations, including here in Memphis. The airline canceled most of their flight schedule today from Memphis International, and that's just a small sampling of the crisis that has gripped that airline since the winter blast. And now the federal government is investigating Southwest after they canceled thousands of flights for the second day in a row. The feds say they will investigate why the company lags so far behind other carriers who are not having the same problems. Southwest called off about 2,600 more flights on the East Coast by mid-afternoon today. With millions of travelers dealing with those cancellations and delays, the airport can be a hectic place this time of year, and that's especially true at Transportation Security Administration checkpoints. Did you accidentally leave something behind at the airport? Because if you did, you might still be able to find it. The TSA has its very own Lost and Found. Washington correspondent Laura Geller gives us an inside look at some of the interesting things that officers stumbled upon.
We're in the TSA Lost and Found at Washington Dulles International Airport.
A treasure trove of travelers' items forgotten at checkpoints in the rush to make a flight. Lead Officer Leo Vaughn is in charge here.
What is the weirdest thing you've ever seen?
Well, right now, currently, we have a wheelchair that somebody left behind. Apparently, someone rode in on a wheelchair and walked out without it.
There's the mundane.
Chargers, headphones.
The important.
Over here, we have cell phones, IDs, wallets.
The sad.
There's a bag that was full of toys. You can see that it was for Christmas.
And the how did you even get home from the airport?
Probably every key for every make and model that we have.
Items stay at checkpoints for 24 hours before they end up here. This stuff was collected just yesterday. You've got jackets, passports, COVID vaccination cards, keys, an entire suitcase, and something that looks pretty important.
If your item does end up here, TSA will hold on to it for a month. If you call,
TSA Lost and Found, Leo speaking.
And officers can verify something is in fact yours, you then have 3 months to come and get it. The things that aren't claimed get donated or sent to a warehouse. So here's your tip. Instead of putting small items from your pockets in the bins, put them inside your bag where you're less likely to forget them. And for those people who've left these entire suitcases at the checkpoints,
well, those people need to check their luggage.
I'm Laura Geller, reporting from Washington Dulles International Airport.
The greater Buffalo, New York area continues to deal with the fallout from that deadly blizzard. The massive pre-Christmas storm is to blame for more than 50 deaths so far nationwide, and that includes at least 35 in that small section of western New York. 28 of those in Buffalo, with numbers expected to climb as that community continues to clean up after the storm. Fox 13 meteorologist Chelsea Chandler explains.
More heartbreak for communities in western New York as the death toll continues to climb in the wake of last week's massive winter storm.
This is probably the worst storm that Buffalo has seen in over 50 years, and maybe one of the worst storms ever.
The Buffalo area was one of the hardest hit, the storm being blamed for the deaths in more than 24 people in western New York, and more are expected as the community cleans up.
It's been a tough assignment for our first responders to find members of our community deceased, some on the street, in snowbanks, some in cars, and some in homes.
A state of emergency remains in effect in Erie County after the massive storm brought strong winds and more than 4 feet of lake-effect snow. And it's not over yet. Residents are still dealing with lingering snow, still falling today. On Monday, President Biden offered the support of the federal government.
I'm grateful for their interest in helping all of us be made whole after going through this.
Officials closing major highways and putting a driving ban in place to create safe and easy passage for first responders, and also allowing plows and utility crews to clean up and restore power to the thousands still in the dark.
Please, please, please do not drive in the city of Buffalo.
Buffalo's airport remains closed through at least Wednesday morning. But in a sign of recovery, supermarkets reopening Tuesday. Snow in the region is expected to taper off by Tuesday night.
I actually spoke to a friend there today who is a nurse, the National Guard having to come and get her from her home to take them to work because she's still got 4 feet of snow out in front of her house. She says looting has become a huge problem in the area. And now the next problem they face is the fact that they're about to warm up as well. And now they have to face potential flooding in their homes once again for the second time this season. So it's only going to get worse for the people in Buffalo, unfortunately. So definitely sending a lot of thoughts and prayers their way. As far as what's going on here, it really, at least for me, makes things seem a lot less terrible, I guess. 39 degrees currently in Memphis. As far as what's going on around the area, a little bit cooler in Corinth, not quite as warm because we are seeing our winds beginning to shift, coming in from the south-southeast because we're about to see a warm front move through our area. So again, most of our area we had sunshine today. We got into the 40s. We were not only above freezing for the first time in about a week, we exceeded expectations. So again, as far as what it feels like, a little bit cooler for some areas, but wind chill isn't too bad. 35 in Memphis. Some areas do feel a little bit cooler, like Jonesboro at 27. So if you're headed out and about tonight, I'd still grab a jacket because as we head into our tonight's lows, again, we're going to see those right at and below freezing. So this will be the last night, though, that we have to deal with that, at least for the rest of the year and into next week. Now, as far as tomorrow, it's going to be gorgeous, just very windy. 37 degrees at 8 a.m. The average is 51, and we hit that by noon, and then we're going to be smooth sailing up to about 55 degrees by 4 o'clock for kickoff for the AutoZone Liberty Bowl. Now, as we head into the evening, temperatures, of course, will drop off. But rain, we don't have to worry about, just winds tomorrow. Rain, it comes into play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And we'll track it out. It's not a washout Thursday. It's just spotty showers, and it becomes a little bit more widespread as we get into the overnight and into Friday morning. This was becoming a little bit more linear earlier this morning when I tracked it. Now, again, not so much. Now, as I mentioned, the winds, with the rain and these strong winds, it's going to be interesting to see how that impacts the actual recovery process that MLGW is working with right now. And you can see as kickoff takes place tomorrow, we're going to have gusts close to 30 miles an hour. Those gusts will continue to pick up as we head into the evening and into Thursday, still seeing 30-mile-per-hour winds. It won't be until Friday that we see those dropping off. Now, looking at your 7-day forecast, again, gold star weather, even with the winds tomorrow compared to what we've been dealing with. 56, so we're above average and sunny. It's gorgeous. Okay, then we have rain the next couple of days, and this is just your run-of-the-mill showers, maybe a rumble or two of thunder. Then we see the new year. We ring it in with a little bit of sunshine and 64 degrees, but by Monday, a warm front coming through brings us a chance for possible strong to severe weather, so we'll be tracking that and more rain on Tuesday. So enjoy that. Put those winter coats away and get your raincoats out instead.
Thank you, Chelsea. A live look at I-40 at Riverside Drive right here. Just ahead, a final look at your forecast. Stay with us. Memphis suffered a series of public tragedies in 2022. To help people cope, a mental health provider is bringing its services to the Bluff City. Mental Health Cooperative's CEO announced that they will open a full-service clinic in Memphis by early next year. Children, adolescents, and adults will have access to comprehensive mental health care through the MHC clinic. All 10 care plans are welcome, as well as those who are uninsured and below the poverty guidelines. Right now, we know a lot of our neighbors are struggling to make ends meet, so Fox 13's Family Focus is partnering with the Mid-South Food Bank to help throw hunger over the top rope. Go to fox13memphis.com/contests and donate $5 or more to the food bank, and you can win tickets to WWE SmackDown when it comes to the FedEx Forum in January. It's January 6th. Or you could win the grand prize. That's an all-expenses-paid trip for 4 to San Antonio for the WWE Royal Rumble.
All right, well, one final look at that 7-day forecast again tomorrow. Even with the winds, we're going to get a gold star day after everything we've been through. Sunny and 56. When we should be at 51, that's the average. Well, that's going to be your low tomorrow. We do have one cold night tonight, but we'll get past that. And then we trade in our winter coats for raincoats because we have rain. It won't be a washout, but we will have some pretty high rain chances throughout the rest of the year. Maybe a few rumbles of thunder, but nothing strong to severe expected. That should stay to our west until 2023. We get our nice day to ring in the new year on Sunday. But Monday, as a front moves in, we could see the possibility of some strong to severe weather, but we'll track it.
Thank you, Chelsea, and thank you for watching Fox 13 News at 6. We'll see you tonight for Fox 13 News at 9.